What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the cab of the service truck. What are we working on today? All right, so we got a 980M with a C13. It's apparently got some fault codes. Let's hook up ET, find out what's going on with it. All right, so right off the bat, what do we got here? Oh, there we go. High after treatment DEF concentration and after treatment number 1 SCR desulfation too frequent. So we got an excessive regen frequency, which is an active event, and keep having that code for high DEF concentration. So let's go ahead and dive into it. All right, so here's a little backstory on the machine. So the machine recently had a DPF installed on it, and there's been some things done on the SCR system, but nothing as of late. But first thing I'm going to start doing is I'm going to go ahead and check DEF quality as well as check the DEF injector, and I can do both pretty much in the same test. All right, so first things here. All right, so we're going to unbolt and remove the DEF injectors. So what do we find? There we go. DEF injector's got some crystallization. Doesn't necessarily enough for me to freak out, but let's go ahead and test it and see if we're getting the right volume out of there. Now, you can buy this tooling through Caterpillar to go ahead and measure your DEF injector volume, but I like to use baby bottles because most of us have a kid. And, well, they have measurements on the side, and roughly you need to have one that can roughly measure 150 milliliters. So I like to do the accuracy test, the DEF dosing accuracy test. There's a reason for that. Is just simply put, you test everything in the DEF system, make sure it primes, make sure it builds pressure, all that in the third, just to test the DEF injector. So essentially we're going to hook the old baby bottle onto the DEF injector nozzle, and we're going to go ahead and run the test and also check the atomization, and we'll check the volume, and we'll go from there. You guys can see that right there. Before it's even built a PSI of pressure, she's already dribbling right out of the nozzle. Not a good start. You guys can watch this atomization, the spray pattern right there. Doesn't look too hateful. Let's see if I can get closer. Alright, so Cat wants you to run this test 3 times, which we're going to do, but right now we wanted to go ahead and show you off the first little bit of atomization there. So we have a little over 100 milliliters, probably pushing 110. The spec is right around 100 to 120. I'll put the spec right there below. Alright, so we're going to break out the old DEF refractor and check the concentration, and I've got strips that will test the quality. Alright, so there's your quality right there, concentration, I'm sorry. Right around 32, 33%. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and test the actual quality here. Use these test strips and see what we get. Well, it just wicked the DEF fluid off there, and there is no change. If there was a sense of hydrocarbons, this would change to a dark blue fairly quick. So we're going to go ahead and move into the SCR mixer and see what that looks like. Alright, so you guys seen there in the video there, the mixer showed no signs of damage, and or does the mixer show any signs of DEF concentration, or DEF, sorry, inside the mixer at all? No deposits, anything. It's actually fairly clean. It's actually doing its job. Right now we're going to be looking more into, is there a possible issue within the fuel? They have a multitude of machines out here, none of which are having this same exact issue. But that would be a place to start. Probably pull a fuel sample. Probably going to end up pulling out the manifold and taking a look at the sock, make sure there's nothing there that might be causing our E1365 fault. Alright, so we're going to finish up the video here. So basically, long and short of it, we found that there was a previous tech was already here, did NOx sensors, DEF injector, so on and so forth. We're going to go ahead and pull a fuel sample out of this thing and send that back and see if we can figure out what's going on with the desulfation issue. But as for the DEF concentration being high, we're going to go ahead and put a DEF manifold in it to start there. Looked into it, has an older part number on there. I'll put that right on the screen right there. And then we're going to go ahead and see if we can't fix that issue. It's kind of an intermittent issue. Ran it through a after treatment functional test, and it passed with beautiful, no issues there, no codes came back up. All right, so here we are, next day, and as I said to you guys, don't knock the damn thing over. All right, so the existing part number, which is vaguely able to see. I'll put it up on the screen in comparison to the new one. As you can see there's been 2 updates on this particular manifold since the last one. Alright, so after a new manifold install, what I like to do is validate some of the things are actually functioning correctly. 1, DEF tank temperature. It says 64 degrees, and we're fairly close to that. And let's go ahead and validate level. Level's at 91.9. Again, if you had pulled the manifold, you should know how full roughly your tank was. So as of right now, I'd say it's fairly close. I'm just going to validate temperature real quick while I'm here. Just compare it to a temperature that's maybe fairly close to it. So ambient air is 43 degrees, but again, it also had coolant going through it, so coolant temperature right now is 138 degrees. So we'll just balance it out and say, yeah, it's pretty damn close. All right, so pretty common after you replace a DEF manifold. As you can see, step 17, perform an after treatment system functional test, and once this is completed, we'll go ahead and validate there's no longer any codes, and then we'll put this baby back together. Well, just like that, folks, we got a success. So in cat's eyes, everything is functioning as it should. DEF concentration is reading correctly. I don't know, but they could give us that information. The NOx sensors are functioning. They know, but we don't know. That's another one of those great things about working for a cat dealer, that you just really would like some information. What am I supposed to be seeing off a NOx sensor? What's my parts per million? Anything. But that's just a great, grand, glorious thing about working at a cat dealership. You just kind of go with it and assume everything's working as it should. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off the video there. We have a successful completion of a DEF manifold to correct a high DEF concentration issue. I'm going to pull a fuel sample, see what that comes back as, to hopefully see if there's no further issues for the desulfation issues that we've been getting with this machine. Aside from that, do what you guys always do. Like, share, subscribe, Pete Pump the World. I'll see you guys in the next video. By the way, if you guys don't have one of these yet, after I've done talked about them over and over again, these black stallions, to me, work out great. They got that nice little tripod stand. And when you're doing stuff like this, or doing some welding work or what have you, they come in handy. Hell, even on a hot day when you don't want the sun beating on your ass. Benefit. I'm telling you, look at that. Completely dry. The whole time we left that open.